I'm at Writtle University College today, and this week's task is to do a bit of hedge cutting. My shears, however, are in need of a bit of tender, loving care. So I've got a few bits of equipment here just to sharpen them up, clean them up. I've got some oil, I've got a sharpening stone, I've got some wire wool, and most importantly, I've got some paper towels just to put down to protect the area that I'm working around. So before we do the hedge cutting, I'm going to take you through how we actually go around preparing our tools for the job. Now that I've got my paper towels down, I'm going to take a stiff brush into my shears. I'm just going to give them a little bit of a good bristle down to get any excess bits of plant material and debris off. Okay. Now once I've done that, I'll either give it a spray with WD-40, or we haven't got any left, so I'm just going to get some oil and drip it over the cutting blades. Okay, once you've done that, you can buy yourself, or you should have bought it beforehand, some wire wool. And here's some that I've been using earlier. So I'm just going to get the wire wool and very carefully, making sure that I don't get my fingers in the blades here, I'm just going to run up and down the blades, cleaning them up. You do need to give your hedging shears a regular clean, because if you're using them for hedging, the plant sap that comes out of the stems that you cut when you're cutting your hedge will come and smear all over your blades here, and then it can get gunked up and it might not cut quite as nicely and as sharply as it should. Now it's time to do the other side. Now, although that's not perfect, it certainly is hugely better than it was before. So we've now cleaned it up, we've got all the rust off of it, there was quite a lot of old plant sap in the blades here. So the next stage is that we're going to sharpen the blades. So as I said, the next stage is to sharpen the blades. Now you don't sharpen this side and the other side of the blade here. This is a nice flat bit of the blade here. So where you've got the curve on here, this is the sharp side, this is the bit you need to sharpen. And then on this blade here, this is the flat side, and this is the side that's got the edge on it that you need to sharpen. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one. I'm using a scythe sharpening stone here, and I'm going to move it in a downward direction and move it along. And this takes quite a bit of time to do, especially if it hasn't been done for ages like this here. So at the top, and then move it along. And you just keep repeating that. Now you could cheat and take it to the wee man down the road who does it for a £5. Okay, can you see that starting to sharpen there along that edge, along here? So just keep doing that. Don't know if you can see that. And then I'm going to start on the other one. Now, as I said before, this is the flat side. This is the side that's got the cutting edge on it. So I'm going to turn that round. This one here. So this is where the edge is that I'm going to sharpen. Okay, I'm just going to sharpen it just a little bit more, and then I'm going to get a piece of paper and I'm going to put the shears and just then go through the piece of paper and cut it, and if it cuts through it, it will be ready for going out to do the job. If it isn't, I'll just go back and sharpen it a little bit more. Now with the shears, I've gone over and did a little bit more sharpening, and then I've got the oil and then given them another clean up so they are ready to go. And also we're getting the oil and cleaning them up. It means that if there's any filings on there, that they're removed and not going to get into the mechanisms of the hedging shears. Okay, so it's time now to get my piece of paper. Now I'm on my own here. I keep having to go back round the back of the video camera and switching you on and off. But I've got a piece of paper. Now normally I get someone to hold it up and then I go and snip it. I'm just going to have to put it down like this, and then we'll give it a cut and see how it does. Yes, it's cut beautifully down this bit, and just on the tips here it's not cutting. So I'm going to go back. Now I'm going to give my hedging shears another going over just on the tips here in terms of sharpening it, and go back and test the paper again. Okay then everyone, I'm just going to have another go at trying to cut the paper towel. I've found a willing assistant now, so here we go. There we go, absolutely perfect. Cut right the way through it. And that's always a good trick, to make sure you've got a piece of paper, you cut it, and when it's not cutting it, go back and sharpen that area again. I sharpened down the front here for quite a little bit, and then just went over the whole blade again, and then I've come back and got this result. So I am now ready for my hedge cutting practical. So off we go. Happy sharpening!